Hello, my viewing audience. How are you today? I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. If you're new to my YouTube channel, my name's Naomi, and I want to bring positivity to your world today. That's what I'm hoping. And in light of that, it's not going to be a very positive topic, but this channel for me is all about a journey on finding myself, on healing, on becoming the person I'm meant to be. I'm getting there. I feel like I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel as far as my perception of me and just becoming a more positive and happy human. So if you know me, I am not a very positive person. I don't see a lot of light out there, and I don't see a lot of possibility, and I'm not a dreamer. And I used to be when I was young. I dreamed a lot, and I wanted a lot for myself, and then life knocked me down and said, don't get back up. And I listened to that voice in my life many times, where I was told I wasn't worthy to have dreams and to have love and to have a happy life. So I wanted to talk about why maybe I'm like this, and it may be a little depressing, I think. Sometimes I feel like I'm alone in this, and I don't think that I am. I think our society today, the past 20 to 30 years, has brought up a lot of people like me. And I'm not the only one who feels jaded by love or by dreams or by life. So I wanted to kind of pinpoint one thing and go on one thing, talk about one thing, and kind of give you an idea of maybe why I'm jaded and why I don't believe in necessarily love for me. I don't think happily ever after is in my book. I don't think, even though I'm trying to be a more positive person, that is something I think I'll struggle with for a long time, and I'm working on it right now, but it's probably the biggest struggle for me, is believing that love exists for me. And maybe it does. Maybe it's just me loving myself, and that's just the end of it, and I have to be okay with that. And maybe I don't have somebody out there for me that, can love me unconditionally and just me. So let's get to the meat and bones of this, if you will. I want to talk about my issue with men. And it's not men, the male species. This is who I'm attracted to and why I like men. So I'm not trying to like gender role or I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm just trying to explain my relationship with men and where it has brought me today to make me feel this way, to feel maybe unloved, unwanted, unworthy, and I'm unworthy. I'm unworthy of love from a man. I know that's not true. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Christian. I have a relationship with God. I know that He loves me unconditionally. I know that I'm a child of God. I believe that. It's taken me a very long time to understand the love of God, though, because my perception of the love of God was what I saw on earth, as far as my dad and the men that I allowed into my life. That was the perception of love for me. I just want to preface this by saying that thank God, literally, thank God that I had an amazing stepfather who came into my life, and he saved me from maybe what could have been worse. It could have been worse. So I'm thankful to Mark, and I'm thankful to his family, because his parents and his siblings have shown me that even though I don't see it in my own life yet, and even though I don't have it, that it's possible, that love between a man and a woman, the way God intended it to be, the way he wants it to be, for someone to love someone else wholeheartedly, unconditionally, it's possible. It is. Do I still believe that for myself? No, I don't. I'm not quite there yet. As you can see, I get emotional when I talk about it because it's really hard. It's hard to watch my parents and their whole family, my aunts and uncles, and my Uncle David and Aunt too. They're not part of they're my mom's brother, but to know that it does exist is a beautiful thing. It's so beautiful to me because it gives me a slight amount of hope that it's possible. Anyway, sorry about that. So let's take it back to the beginning. I am a child of divorce, obviously, because I have a stepfather. I'm a child of divorce, and my father is an alcoholic, and he came from a very bad place. His father was not a good man, and he came from a very bad place. I hold no ill will towards my father for how I was raised. None at all. I forgave him a long time ago. He didn't ask for it, but I forgave him because I know he needed it. He needs forgiveness. I don't blame him for what happened in my life because what happened to him was way worse. And he didn't know any better. And as a parent, I did the best I could. I know he did the best he could. I can't hold him. I just can't. So, my father was an alcoholic, and I had an older sister. My sister passed away 10 years ago. But growing up, my sister was his little girl. Like, they were two peas in a pod. They were literally the same person. They were inseparable, and he loved her. And I never felt the same, that my dad felt the same way about me. Never felt that, ever. My sister had thick skin, so she could handle maybe my dad's mean remarks, mean comments, and I did not have thick skin. So my dad was not nice to me, and he called me fat. And I was never fat as a child. I wasn't, but I thought I was. And all I wanted was for my dad to love me the way that he loved my sister. All I ever wanted in life was for my dad to I wanted to be daddy's little girl, and I wasn't. And there was some times in my life where I thought maybe he really just wanted me to be a boy. Maybe he just doesn't like me. So I really struggled with that. And I think every relationship from there, every relationship that I have had with a man since then has stemmed from how my father treated me. So my father treated me like crap. And I still wanted him to love me as much as he loved my sister. Even though he treated me like crap, it didn't matter. I just wanted my daddy to love me, you know? What little girl does not want her daddy to love her? So I had a crush on a boy my entire school years, from 12th grade to 11th grade, or from second grade, mind you, till 12th grade. This young man didn't care. He could have cared less that I liked him. But my junior year, we had moved away, so we weren't living in the same town. I asked this young man to take me to my prom, and he said yes. I was shocked. My childhood crush, the guy I've loved forever, he's taking me to my junior prom. What the heck? I was so excited. He came down, took me to my prom. We had the best time, we just had such a good time. We talked all night. The next day, we all went out for breakfast. Him and I took a walk. We were holding hands. We just had the best time. And then just before he left, he told me about his girlfriend back home, and that he intended to keep this girlfriend back home, and that he had such a great time, and thank you for such a wonderful time. Okay, so bye to you. The next following year, my senior year, I had a crush again on a nice young man, and I even joined the sport that he was on, bowling. We bowled. Pretty impressive. Joined the bowling league so that I could see him and hang out with him, and he would drive me home, and we'd make out in the car and all that good stuff, like, I thought, ooh, I'm his girl, but I soon discovered that that's all we were going to do. We were going to make out in the car. We weren't going to be holding hands in school, in the hallway. We weren't going to be boyfriend and girlfriend because, shocker, he was in love with one of the other girls in my class, and he wanted her to be his girlfriends, and I was just something to have fun with in the meantime, but I was his secret, and we weren't going to talk about it, and I wasn't supposed to let anybody know that we were hanging out, making out in the car. Okay, so that was fun for my senior year or whatever, and then I quickly found myself very devastated by that, and graduated high school, was really, really hurt by that, and met an older man, got pregnant, and bam, my whole world turned upside down. He wanted to marry me, but needless to say, I'm scared and pregnant and not ready for any of that. Then comes in my ex-husband to save the day, and I'd known him my whole life, and I'd known his family, and I would have married either one of my mother-in-law's sons just to have her as my mother-in-law. I'll tell you that right now. I thought back then I needed her as my mother-in-law. You just tell me which one of your sons and I will marry them. And at this point I'm 18 and I'm pregnant and I'm scared, and I'm like, just give me one of your sons. He came in and I thought he was going to come in and save the day. Did I love him? Not in the traditional sense that you love somebody when you marry them because you fell in love and you want to get married. I loved him as, thank you for coming and saving the day. And I loved him like a family member. I thought of them as my family. They all treated me like their family member. My mother-in-law had been part of my life my whole life, so I just, it was just a natural, okay, yes, this makes sense. I'll marry this man, and he can take care of me and my child for the rest of my life. And I was under the impression at that young age that once I'm married, that's it. I'm married. I will never get a divorce. I will never do that to my kids. I won't ever make them suffer the way that, with what I went through. I would never do that to them, ever. I don't care what he does to me. I will not hurt my children. So I stayed with the man for 20 years that I did not necessarily love. Now, obviously, we had a friendship. I didn't hate him. I never knew true love. I didn't know love. And I didn't feel like he really loved me because, not to put his dirty laundry out there, but he's pretty good about doing it himself, so here it is. He basically cheated on me for 20 years, for the entire time we were married. Most of the time I suspected it, but didn't have any proof of that. And in the end, I did suspect it, but tried to hold out for the sake of my children. So here I am now, and I'm 38 years old. Never had a man love me the way that I was meant to be loved. My father didn't love me the way I was meant to be loved. The men I dated in high school, or talked to in high school, always wanted another girlfriend. So I could just, maybe we could talk, but don't tell anybody we talked. And then my marriage. So I'm a little jaded in the love department. Right after my marriage ended, I did meet a gentleman that I felt like chemistry and madly in love. I fell madly in love. I'm not saying he did, and I'm not going to tell you what his feelings are for me or were for me, but that was, I've never ever looked at somebody and had that love at first sight, or had that bam, lightning bolt feeling, and I did, and I fell hard. And then also realized that was never going to be a possibility, because there's always someone else, isn't there? And that's the story of my life. So I allowed myself to be in that relationship knowing that was what it was. And because why? Because that's what I know. And I mentioned that to him one time. I said, why do I have these relationships? Why?
In 2 miles, take exit 37 for I-86 east toward Jamestown.
Got it? I gotta listen to my directions here. Yeah, I asked him point blank. I said, do I have it written on my forehead? You know, do you have a wife? Do you have a girlfriend? I'm your girl. Choose me. And he said, it's because you allow it. You allow that. And I was like, yeah. I mean, it was a punch to the gut and it hurt a lot, but it was true. It was true. It's because I allow it. And why do I allow it? I think I allow it because I'm constantly searching for something I'll never have, or I think in my brain I'll never have. So like, I'll never have the love that my father had for my sister. I'll never have that, ever. As much as my father needs me now because my sister's gone, I'm not Jen. I'm not Jen and I'll never be Jen. Don't want to be Jen. So I'm trying to be me and be okay with being me and to love me and to not think myself unworthy of love and unworthy of what God has for me, what my dreams might be. Like my dreams are starting to resurface and I'm starting to like feel it again. I'm starting to feel excited about life again. My father and my ex-husband broke me. And I need fixing, but I cannot look for that anywhere else. I don't need a man to fix me. I don't want a man to fix me. I am not going to be looking for a man to love me anymore. And maybe it's out there sometime someday. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care, to be honest with you. What I do know is I need to love me unconditionally. I need to know that I'm okay and there's nothing wrong with me. And it doesn't take a man's love, and it should not take a man's love to make me feel better. So, done hating myself, feeling unworthy and feeling unloved, because I am loved. I'm loved. I am very loved. And I'm very lovable. So, I don't know if anybody out there feels the same way or has been through the same thing. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Maybe you think I'm being dramatic. Maybe you think I'm crazy. Maybe you think, oh my God, this poor girl. What the heck? But that's my story. That's why I struggle with love, and that's why I struggle at weddings, and that's why I struggle being around people that love each other or seeing happy marriages. It's hard to see that. And I'm working on it. So please give me grace and forgive me when I'm sad or down around love. I hate love movies. Blech. Help me. I'm working on it. And give me a little grace and a little patience. I think I'm getting there a little bit. Starting to love myself again. I'm starting to feel good about myself again and know that I'm worthy of love. I am worthy of it. Because I am. I'm worthy of my own love too. So here we go. I'm going to do it. So feel free to share my video if you get this. If you are feeling it and you get it, share. Like this video. Comment on it. Talk to me. Let's have a dialogue. I'm really excited to see. I hope there's not many more of you out there like me who are so jaded by love from your childhood up on up. I hope there's not many of you. I really do. But if you are out there and you get what I'm saying and you feel me, I would love to talk about it because this is a painful, painful thing. So painful. So I'm proud of myself for who I am and what I am. And I'd be proud of you too. And I'm happy to talk about it. So comment, like, share, and please subscribe to my channel. Let's get some positivity out there and let's work on being more positive because we can do it. Let's bring positivity to a negative world. All right, love you all. Thank you for watching, and have a great week. Thank you.